Before I get into the video, yo, shout out to NDIO, bruh. We've been nerding out for the past 3 hours. I've been patiently technical writing and chopping it up with my boy. Make sure y'all tune into his channel. He goes live and builds apps every day, every MF day. I'm there, he's there, and we're just creating an environment to be chill. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all tap into that. And hold on, I want y'all to see the screen because that's what I was showing. Make sure y'all tap into that because we did live. We start talking with other people, people join and all that stuff. So if y'all want some more content that's live and programming wise, read it. NDIO, yo, I'm gonna see you soon. I'm still in that chat too. I'm gonna comment and shit like that, but we're gonna get to work right now, right? Because I see him working and he's getting off in another 5 minutes. So like it's perfect timing to like get back in the swing of things. Um, we're gonna check out the AI grid and robots by 2025.
To mass produce humanoid robots by 2025. And in this recent video that we got by this company called AGIBot, a Shanghai-based robotics company specializing in the development and production of humanoid robots and delivery robots, we got to see firsthand how the world is actively changing behind the scenes. So this is a company that is specializing.
All right, I have a theory. Before we go into the video and completion, my theory is there's drones and a lot of weird devices in US soil. I don't know if it's US like weaponry being used. I feel like low key, either China, Russia, or one of them worlds is spying on us, right? Or something is going on with like global intelligence where like either some embassy or someone is watching over us, basically. I feel like that because Trump yesterday he went on the air to say the government knows what's going on about the drones in New Jersey, like, and he kept it at that. So Trump is not gonna tell us, right? But Trump is not going to deny it as well, which is a scary world we're living in right now because Shanghai is mass producing a lot of things. So robots by 2025 may not be the best idea because that may signal war. You get what I mean? Like it may signal like a new version of war, like digital warfare, where robots are gonna be like the benchmark. And if your robo team lose, oh they are going to impede on whatever you got going on in your nation. That's just my theory. Like we're gonna be in World War III, but it's going to be TW1, Tech World, no, TWW1. I'm coming up with the abbreviations now. Tech World War One, because we have too much things that we aren't addressing in the tech space because there's no legal representation. And the reason why is because risk you can't risk not advancing AI even at the risk of other human beings because other nations are aiming to take us off of our pedestal. So we kind of have to look at the other way when it comes to AI, AGI, and all of the robotic stuff. Because if China has something working in 2025 for robots, they may not be good, but you just have to stay prepared.
And the humanoid robots that are going to be working in your homes and in factories around the world. And recently, they have decided to, hit the gas a little bit and ensure that they're going to be one of the leaders for these humanoid robots. So they've decided to increase the rate of production of these robots and scale up the amount of robots that they're going to be doing. In this demo, you can see them working on module assembly. This is where they are working on ensuring that the actuators are correct and all of the necessary components of these robots are going to be working efficiently. They are going to produce so many robots that it is going to be incomprehensible the future that we're going to be living in. And funnily enough, we can also see that some of the robots in the factories are also assisting them in this process, leading us to understand that this is a symbiotic relationship and one that gets faster with every iteration cycle. After all, if you do have more robots, then you can get more done. And if you can get more done, you can certainly build more robots and vice versa. So they also have an extensive testing facility for these actuators, ensuring that they can handle all the necessary loads for many different types of environments. After all, these robots are going to exist for quite some time, and they're going to be needing to be tested in a variety of different environments, different stresses, just a variety of different tests to ensure that these robots are ready to go out into the rugged world that is the harsh terrain. Now, these robots aren't just humanoid robots. We can see here that they have several different kinds. We've got the A2D, and in the main assembly area, we can see that these ones have wheels at the bottom of the bases. This shows us that there are vast different applications for these kinds of robots, and whether it's humanoids or ones with wheels, there are going to be different areas and different applications that most people are going to be surprised by. So at the last testing area right here, you can see that I'm not sure why they're dressed up, but it does look like the shot out of a Terminator movie. But no, this is a real demo from a real company that is really behind the scenes ramping up what is possible. Now we can also see at the Gigafactory just how many robots they have in production. And one of the most incredible things that they are doing with these robots is the large scale data collection. So with the data collection, they have these small areas / environments where they are mimicking exactly where these robots are going to be when they're deployed in your home. As you all know, certain homes and certain environments are different in terms of their size, they're different in terms of their, lighting, and all of those different individual factors have.
I guess my question is if it's already an AGI bot and you're training it on so much data already that is probably farther than the human can imagine. But nonetheless, you're training it on that data to do that one specific task. What if they fuck up one day and we tell them that you messed up? Will they kill us? That's a genuine question. Because how it reacts to a mess up is more important than how it works. I need to know how you gonna react if I tell you it doesn't work, and I have to ensure that you don't make me not work as a result of my response. So,
to be collected through
and that's free for open interpretation. Drop in the comment. You know what I'm saying?
vast amounts of data collection. And this is how they're doing that: real world data collection and synthetic data collection. With those two forces, they're going to be able to generalize with those robots, have high precision, and with efficient fine tuning, they're going to have a really, really effective stack that allows them to scale these robots to be the most effective robots in terms of whatever task it is.
I'm gonna ask NDIO actually. Yo, me too. I guess so. They should have a plan for solo devs now. It's just for teams. We're talking about Devin right now, so let me make sure you guys can see the comments because I definitely do want you to see it. So we're talking about Devin. Um, Definitely right. They should have some pay to play plan rolling out in 2025. Corporate tech world. You heard man that is rolling out humanoids in 2025. You're signaling war. What do you think about robots and no, I wouldn't say signaling war because he might not be well versed in what's going on, but weird signaling we are behind. Oh, he's out. He is out. I bet. See you soon. Hopefully he answers the question before he heads out. Oh, he's out. Thanks for hanging out, Galian. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, y'all. You feel me? Alright, so he said, so right now we're talking with Clown and Devin. He's on the Slack bot, and we want to make sure that, devs at least get some sort of devs get some sort of program or pay to play plan from Teams, because it looked like Teams is trying to pivot its way into the tech space, and I don't. It's whatever.
that they do have. You can see their AIDA platform is going to be the one that allows them to scale this past the million. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these robots perform out there in the real world. But so far, based on what I'm seeing, a lot of the tasks that we're seeing these robots do seem to
Hey,
be effortless.
I seen
Well,
something
but
pretty
it's going to be
alarming
really interesting to see
right there. The head color and all of that screen, right from
how
the
these robots
robot
perform
screen. You
out there in
can't
the
like
real world. But
see
so far, based on what I'm seeing, a lot of the tasks that we're seeing these
like what's
robots do
going on in a
seem to
person's
be
house. That's
effortless
not pretty
and
invasive.
smooth. And this comes as to no surprise, as 2025 is the deadline for China's robotic efforts in terms of them trying to leap forward. And I wouldn't be surprised if these robots, when they are commercialized, are quite as usual and quite as normal as simply having a phone in your house. Now, this company, like I said before, isn't the only company that is doing this. We know that there are other companies around China that are also working on humanoid robots. The demo that you're seeing here is XPeng's robots, and XPeng's is a subsidiary of the Chinese electric vehicle company XPeng, and they're actually focusing on developing intelligent bionics. Now, this company was actually founded in 2016 and is headquartered in Shenzhen, China. And the craziest thing about this demo was I remember when I showed it to my audience first, they were really surprised that this was something that was even real. Many were claiming that this was CGI and that this was not real at all, but I can assure you that after seeing several demos of this robot in a variety of different videos, that this just goes us to show how far we are in terms of the timeline to where these robots are performing things that humans can't even fathom is actually real. Now,
And in all reality, I'm not going to say what company, but I've worked for companies and other people who already have robo arms and started integrating robotics into some of their production activities. More specifically, the health field, the drug and pharmaceutical field. There's a lot of people right now that's just testing robotics because they already have a standard that needs to be pushed. So, like, if you have a drug business, you already know how much products you need. So, there's like a stagnation period for them. They could either go down drastically or maintain the level of work that they have right now. And, like, it may seem like it's a good thing at first, but after a while, you kind of want to push boundaries because it gets harder and harder to maintain that level of success, which is why there's not a lot of successful distribution manufacturers when it comes to drugs, because after a while you have to push that boundary. So robotics is going at least mass production in America. I don't know about China, because y'all gonna have robots that's falling on their face. That's just my opinion. The robo arms and different like prosthetic use. What is it called? Wearables, or it's something about attaching robotics and the human DNA to make it like unison. That right there is going to be $1 billion industry. I just don't know how regulated you would want that. I wouldn't want to have my peacemaker regulated by a dude behind the computer. Even though it already is, I don't know how we are going to live with ourselves if we combine tech and like body, because now we got to worry about hackers more than ever, more than the outside world, because a hacker could dead ass just hack you and kill you. So that's going to be like the first era where just, you know what I mean? Like you might see some weird things. Like you might see dead people connected to humanoid things and they're still living, and we don't know how. And we honestly can't even fathom how a AI or automation system could keep a human being running that long. Is it painful for the other being? What can they see? Like, there's so much questions when it comes to just the integration of robots.
for those of you guys who are thinking, okay, this is just a short demo of it walking around in a pristine environment, the company managed to show us just
I'm
exactly
checking my
how this
phone, y'all.
robot is
This
going
is
to
all
be applied
improv, by the
to
way,
various
off the
different
top.
industries. One of the key demos we got to see was this robot actually working inside of a factory. We got it to see it firsthand do several different tasks, and it seemed very human-like in its ability to grab certain objects, be able to analyze certain objects, and be able to efficiently work with the team. So this is something that, like I said before, is surprising a lot of people because right now we walk around, we don't see humanoid robots walking amongst us. But in these factories, behind these scenes in China, there is a quiet revolution that is brewing.
Nah, yeah,
Humanoid
it is.
robots are going to be the next big thing in terms of market efficiency for those trying to scale any kind of physical labor intensive company.
I don't know. And that's why I said I don't know, because even the robotics thing, it has to be brought in alongside with humans, so there's still a comparison level. So we still gonna have to like kind of play in that benchmark of great work. But I think after a year of a company integrating robotics, you can now then see to push the boundaries. But even then, I don't know, because robotics, it can't operate like we're seeing now. It really can't, because at that point it becomes a hindrance on the work production, and you might lose more trying to operate than what you were doing before. So it's still a hit or miss. We got to see how it
And we're seeing right
integrates
here
seamlessly.
firsthand that these companies are really, really advancing in terms of the pace and in terms of the development of what they're doing. And car manufacturers are one of the biggest users of these humanoid robots. So I wouldn't be surprised if by the year 2030, we see fully automated car factories that are just run by a team of humanoid robots and maybe one or two orchestrators that, operate these robots and automate them in terms of their efficiency. So overall, you can see the vision system here performing really well, being able to get the robot to perform certain tasks. And I think this is one of those moments where you have to see, okay, we are now entering that futuristic timeline where, yes, humanoid robots are going to be a part of the future and a key part of the economy in terms of keeping up that economic growth. Now, this company has actually raised over 7 billion yuan in funding and actually gained the recent backing of industry giants like BYD and Huawei. And this support comes from some of the biggest, coming from some of the biggest names in the industry is a clear sign that the world is starting to take humanoid robots seriously. Now, there are still hurdles ahead, and some people believe that there are still scientific challenges that we will face before they can truly reach their full commercial
I have another theory on robots, but I want to see if he touches it first, because a lot of people online talk, but they don't really give their point of view and opinion. So
potential.
he
But
got a
with the
minute left,
progress that they have
but I
already
feel like
made,
I know
it
where it's
seems
gonna
that
go.
this is something that is looking to be very, very exciting for the future of humanoid robotics. So I wouldn't be surprised if other companies, once they manage to figure out all the kinks and all the small details, that they start to mass produce these robots as well. So far, I think this is something that I do have to pay attention to, as when it comes to applying AI to sort of, the embodiment aspect, this is going to be something that we really are going to be looking at firsthand. We've all seen the figure demo and, of course, the 1X Neo robots, but I wonder how quickly China is going to scale their robotics efforts too. So, with that being said, with robot armies slowly coming to fruition and the robot workforce probably entering us year on year on year, increasing in size year over year, what do you guys think of this future? If you enjoyed the video,
So I did enjoy the video. I'ma like it. Comment, just review. Well, no, I'm gonna do the comment and then do it after. Honestly, I feel like just in terms of the humanoid aspect, I don't know. In terms of US, I don't know if we're gonna integrate it like China. Like that part isn't gonna fly for security reasons, privacy reasons, and all of that. I think it'll integrate into VR amazingly though. Like giving the user, like, all right, let's say you playing a video game. You gonna need a controller, joystick, and all the things to make sure the robot can move and stuff like that. There's obviously gonna be microcontrollers and different type of things for robotics at a later point in time. Not saying now, but definitely gonna be some microcontrollers. Everything can be handled by the system. You're gonna have to have some remote access stuff on hand nearby to play with it. And if you don't, you gotta go into the big boy and then, get into the code. VR is gonna be a great way to kind of like make it immersive in the robotics aspect. So let's say you have a couple employees who do phenomenal on that one side of the job. You'll have them, and then the other employees who don't do that good. I guess you'll look at it as a warning, but you just, put them behind the VR and let them operate the machinery, which could probably process things faster than them. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're replacing a whole industry, you're replacing workers that don't need to be there. And then from there, you then compete with the workers that are on top, right? And then those workers either are better than them, which you would then have to replace them on the machine and see how they fare against machine to machine, but different type of people controlling it. But I ultimately feel like that's how robots are going to be introduced into the workforce. And it'll limit some of the job laws and the labor laws, but it definitely replace some of the manual and some of the other aspects of a factory, of different lines of work that is tedious and really not needed if you're not that good at it. Now, it isn't to say that you'll be replaced, but robots will definitely help you more than the person that, knows it like the back of his hands. And the reason why it's not that bad, or it's not that bad, because once you get good at using the robots, think of it like you're not as good as the job that you was competing against, but you're great at robotics. So you're able to get the same job done more efficiently than the person that is best at that position. So in that eyes, you just proved your value to the company, right? Easy and simple. I feel like that is where the workforce and robotics is going to go because it's hard to replace everyone without a solid data or track record of robots working and helping us advance and reach new heights and levels. There's still going to have to be some human feel in it. But that's just my opinion. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.